Content warning. For the following video, we are going to be talking about Tex Watson, aka Charles Tex Watson, who is part of the Manson family. There is a very famous story that happens with this, with a lot of violence, and there is a lot of talk about religion and cult-like activity. If this type of situation bothers you, I understand. Trigger warning. All the triggers. All of them. Seriously, this is a very difficult reading to do, but it has been requested, and I am going to go ahead and do it. So please, please, please be mindful of your own triggers, and if you have to set this one out, I completely understand. I will see you guys later on another one. Otherwise, welcome to Spectacular 2022. Hi Crystal Balls, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today, and I want to throw out a quick thank you to my Patreon members. Thank you especially for being here. Y'all, if you could take a moment and hit that like button and click the subscribe button, because I'm trying to get to 1,000, and as soon as I do, I will release a special gift to the public, which is the video I took down because of some serious controversy, which is my Sharon Tate video. And I have had a lot of contact about it. So if you guys want to see that video, if you weren't the lucky few, or some of my Patreons have seen that video, you want to see that video get to 1,000. So subscribe, 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 likey. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart that you guys are here. So quick talking point. Again, trigger warning. All the triggers that you can possibly think of. This is a very difficult case to speak of. So much so that it has made me nervous. This is a very, very much requested video. Anything with the Manson family is highly requested. So I'm going to do this. I'm breaking one of my rules to say I wasn't going to talk about Tex, but I'm going to, because I consider him to be one of the most evil living people on the planet. Protect yourself. Take your warnings and triggers seriously, please. So I'm going to do a little bit of background on Tex, and then we're going to go into a reading. This is a spiritual energetic reading, which means it's a little more dangerous for me than somebody that's dead, because at least they're dead. You know, I don't know. Energy readings sometimes can be very difficult. I'm going to leave a timestamp in the description box below that tells you when the reading actually starts. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, and if you want to listen to the background, great. I'm going to start that now. If not, I will see you over on the reading part. So, Tex Watson. Charles Tex Watson was born in Texas, and he had a normal life, basically. He did a lot of deliveries and things like that, which is how he ended up meeting, oh crap, his one of the Beach Boys, and I am blanking on his name. Dennis the Beach Boy. So the Manson family at that time had already moved in to Dennis's household.
Been in town for 3 months, and you're making friends with the Manson family.
Which Dennis was, very much a hippie, as well as his siblings and the Beach Boys, but he got into a very dangerous situation and with the Manson family, and Dennis ended up abandoning ship and letting them have the house and left. This is how dangerous the situation got. Eventually, the Manson family ended up on Sprawling Ranch, and they had a whole bunch of family members, but Tex was like Charles's right-hand man. So Tex is one of the most prolific murderers out there in the United States. Infamous is the word I'm going to use. He went on a killing spree. He is the only person who, well, no, I think there's other people, but he's the only male.
Tex Watson, Patricia Krenwinkel, and Leslie Van Houten,
who was present and killed at both the Sharon Tate murder house, which killed 5 people, and the LaBianca murder house, which killed 2 people, within 1 day, within 24 hours. The thing is, there are still rumors to this day that there were more murders carried out within the 3-day period there in Los Angeles, and one of the hottest days of the year, considering the fact, actually, I'm going to pop that murder up to 6 at the Sharon Tate house because Sharon was 8.5 months pregnant, and she begged to Tex to spare the life of her baby. Ask, please give me 2 weeks to have my baby, you can come back and kill me. But he killed her anyway. He shot and stabbed and maimed, tortured 7 people, adults, and a baby that hadn't even taken its first breath yet. The magnitude of this crime was shocking and disgusting, unthinkable, especially when it came to a pregnant woman. Los Angeles is a dark, dreary, scary place. But it never recovered after the Manson murders. And the Manson murders really brought down the hippie movement, the good part of the hippie movement. There was great hippie parts, but Tex Watson was responsible for stabbing it multiple times and watching it bleed. He didn't kill just those 7 people plus a baby. He killed generations of people. He also killed other people that I'm sure he's killed other people. I really am. And I'm sure he is sitting in his cell right now lying just as much as he did back when he was 22 years old. He was an adult. He wasn't one of Manson's little girls that had their minds all wrapped up in him. He was one of Manson's lovers. And I don't care what people say, the controversy. I'm not outing anybody. This is knowledge. Tex and Charles were lovers. And he had a very sick hold over his lover and knew how to push the buttons. Tex went to these extremes to impress him, to impress Charles. So much so that he lost himself in an identity that he was no longer Charles. He was Tex. And Charles was the only Charles around. Tex Watson should have been destroyed with the death penalty, but the state of California decided to, the voters of California decided to revoke the death penalty. So anybody who was on death row for killing, or whatever reason, their sentences became life imprisonment. Somehow, the Tex Watson and everybody else in the Manson family became life with parole, the opportunity for parole. Thank God that Tex has been denied every single time. To me, it's unfathomable to think that this man who was convicted for these heinous, gross murders was going to have the chance to walk free. And I'm going to say this. Tex Watson can never walk free. He is guilty of everything that he has done. It doesn't matter if he's remorseful or not. He never gave remorse to those 7 adults and 1 baby that he murdered, that we know of. He didn't show them any mercy. 8 people. He took lives. That's a lot of people that we know of. He deserves no mercy. He deserves no life. He deserves to sit and rot in jail. He should not even be alive right now. He should have been, well, far gone at this point. But him and the Manson family have been up for parole, and every single one of them denied. Even what's-her-face that I did a video about that I will link in the description, or I'll link up here somewhere. Susan Adkins. She was not granted any mercy, even though she was dying of brain cancer. I don't blame the parole board for not showing her any mercy. And I really hope that they never show Tex mercy, because Tex is a #1 manipulator. And I guarantee you he swapped one cult for another, because now he's a born again Christian. Be very aware that this man knows exactly what he's doing. And don't you fall for a second that him or Susan Adkins or anybody else is a Christian. And I'm not saying that against Christianity. I'm not saying people can be, I don't know, really. It's not my point, you know. We look for the best. We hope for the best, but some people are unredeemable. And I truly believe that Tex Watson is unredeemable. I truly believe the Manson family people are unredeemable. You all have your opinions about that. I have mine. And mine is they're unredeemable and deserve no mercy. And I have had that thought process throughout my life. It's not like this is a thought that I just had recently. This is a thought process that I have dealt with my entire life. They deserve no mercy. And I still see with the interviews that I've seen with Tex Watson that he has allowed a smirk of joy when he speaks about those nights. So watch and make your own decision about if they deserve mercy or not, if they deserve parole or not. Let me know down in the comments what you believe about their parole. But today, now, we're going to talk about Tex Watson and do a reading. So here we go. We are going to talk about Tex Watson. I am doing the Modern Witch Tarot, which is obviously one of my favorites. I do this one a lot. So my first question is, and we'll just see where it goes if this actually gives me a question. But was Tex Watson responsible for murdering more than the people that we know? Well, it comes off across that he was foolish enough to do that. This is the fool. This is somebody that is literally like walking around in their own cloud, doesn't think there's anything around them, nothing can touch them, but they're about ready to fall off the edge. And yes, I'm just telling you what's on the card, but I'm going to give you a reason why I'm saying this. So the fool is Tex Watson. He was so enamored with Charlie Manson and so in love with him, so just unbelievably drawn by him. He really did believe that Charles was Jesus Christ. And I'm not saying that as a slur or cussing or anything. Like, literally, there's interviews out there where Tex believed that Charles Manson was Jesus Christ, which is why I'm saying he swapped one cult for another. Um, but Tex truly would have done anything at all for Charles, including um, murder for gratification. Read between the lines. Murder for gratification. And that happened more than once. To me, that happened almost on a weekly basis. And I'm telling you, there were homeless people. I mean, it was the 60s and 70s. Of course, there were homeless people. I mean, yes, there's homeless people now, but I'm talking about like runaways, homeless teens, people that were part of different families, different communes that went missing, that they have never found and don't know anything about, and believe there's families out today who still do not know where they are, that Tex Watson is directly involved in. Allegedly, supposedly, for entertainment purposes only. He was a killer, guys. Still would be. If he got out now and he felt like killing in the name of Jesus would satisfy the Lord, he would do it. He would do it. And he would travel from place to place to place doing it because he believes And he believed in this idea of a Messiah that he was utterly devoted to. And I'm not talking about the way like a majority of Christians are devoted to their God and their Jesus and their church and their prayers. This is sick. This is devoted by murder. This is devoted by cleansing. This is devoted by, oh God, oh God, ethnic cleansing. He's a king in his own castle. He is so high and mighty in jail. He is so everything. He's now what, a minister or whatever? Like, he got some sort of ministering degree. He might be a preacher. I don't know for sure, but he has people falling on every single one of his words right now. He has his own disciples that, if he ever got out of jail, would be the most dangerous thing in the entire world, because he would like activate them. This is people that he had preached to on death row that had gotten out, and this is people that he talked to in prison, including security guards, including people who served food, including people who were there for deliveries. Like, he talked and talked and talked to everybody, and everybody liked that Tex Watson. Everybody likes that Tex Watson. That guy just so high and mighty. He's sitting there talking the word of God. He is. He talks to Jesus. He's talking to the word of God there. He is speaking the truth. He's speaking the gospel truth. He must be redeemed. Christ would redeem him. Christ is the only one that can redeem him. I don't even know if that's true. It's all about power with him. It's all about power. He's incredibly observant. Incredibly observant. I feel like he watches people day and night. He knows their weak points, and he would choose to manipulate them. So a lot of these people that he is counseling in prison, he actually is manipulating them. It's a game to him. He likes it. He enjoys it. This is a game. But he finds their emotional weak spot and breaks them. And part of the reason he does that is for attention. Part of the reason that he does that is for fun. Like, this is a game. This is literally a game to him. This is something that's fun. This is a hobby. I mean, he's in prison and he's bored. I mean, he's still is still an intelligent person. Sorry, I had to get it to my nose. I was trying to cover that up, but it didn't work. Um, he's still an intelligent person. I never said anything bad against this intelligent. He's an incredibly intelligent person, but he really gets a kick out of manipulating people because he's bored. He's got nothing else to do. So what is he going to do? Of course he's going to find Jesus in jail. Of course he's going to. And of course he's going to like poke at people and expose their hearts and expose their minds and try to help heal them. It's a crock of shit. Let me tell you. And again, I'm not speaking about religion as a whole or Christianity as a whole. I'm talking about exactly what Tex Watson is doing. How many people has he killed? I don't know. Well, he still celebrates the deaths. He still celebrates the deaths that he never got caught. I'm hearing 16. Between 16 and 22. So I believe one day that there will be, this is an inaccurate account. So this is what he remembers. This is what he's not too high to remember. But there's between 16 and 22 victims that he can recall. The actual number is probably in the 33 to 45 range. I know that's a huge range, but I keep hearing 33 to 45. So that might be 33, 45, 33 to 45. That could be mile markers. That could be something else. But 33 to 45 has a lot to do with the amount of people that he murdered. But this is what he can remember. This is what he does recall. And I guarantee you he doesn't speak about it to anyone because he's smart enough not to trust anybody. And all these years that he's kept a secret, I do believe there is one existing letter between him and another member of the Manson family that does say it. But the thing is, the female already knew. The female already knew how many people that Tex had killed, at least to an extent. I want to say that the female Manson person knows that and this was very when they were still on death row. This letter doesn't exist anymore. Somebody kept it for their own personal museum, okay? Somebody has it, and they're not going to let go of it. They're not going to do anything about it because it would get them in severe trouble. Even to this day, it would get them into severe trouble. It would really, really, really piss some people off that there was a possession of this letter. I can tell you it was a male, it was a guard, it has that letter. Still around. Still around, still alive. But the female knew of about 13 to 15 that were killed by him in Charles. Yes, Charles killed people. I mean, that it's already known that he killed people. He just didn't participate the way you think he did on the Tate LaBianca murders. Yes, he was there. Yes, he participated. But not the way you think. Hanged man. He knows what he is doing. He knows that in his viewpoint, he knows he's going to hell. But he's going to enjoy it. And he's going to take people to hell with him. That's the point of this whole thing with him. That's the point. That he knows he's going to hell. He's going to take people with him. He can't kill people right now. I mean, he can. But he's got to appear as Tex Watson, the rehabilitated criminal who found God and yada, yada, yada. He's going to take people to hell with him. He can't kill people, but he can damn their souls. He can drive them to madness. He can make them believe any shit he says. I might be talking really loud. I don't know. Because I'm so passionate about this. Because this is the point of all of his stupid religious crap that he's doing. Again, don't come for me in the comments. I'm talking about specifically what Tex Watson is doing. He's taking people to hell with him. He ain't going alone. He's not going to go down without a fight. So if he can't get out of jail to kill people in the name of God, he's going to take those souls to hell with him. Wow. Oh, darling, he is the devil. He is the devil. Have absolutely no doubt in your mind, anybody, that Tex Watson is the devil. He's not just a bad person. He sold his soul. And you can't really sell your soul. He gave it away. He signed his name on the dotted line of the red book. He is in league with the devil. And if you don't believe in the devil, then he is the most evil thing in the entire world. And I'm not saying he's the only one. He's one of many. And like how I believe that every bit of dark spirits that can find him do. And they do. And they talk to him at night. He has voices in his head. But he gave himself over to the devil the moment he found Charles Manson. And he has never let up. Tex Watson is the devil. Don't get that confused. He's gonna want to leave a revolution. Oh, what a revolution. Oh, he is insane. And incredibly intelligent at the same time. It's like looking into a maze with mice who are very intelligent, but gassing them at the same time. Sorry if you can hear a beep, that's my oven. I'm making lasagna. It's Monday, and I want to be Garfield. We don't like Mondays. It really is like, and when I mean gas them, I mean like funny gas, like laughing gas. That's what it's like in Tex Watson's brain. Very organized, very methodical, very, but all of his mice are on laughing gas. So all of his receptors, all of his neurons are like shooting and firing wrong. Um, if he would have been nurtured the way that he should have been, if his mind was nurtured the way that it should have been, if he was not a pretentious killer, he would have been an amazing musician. I'm talking like orchestra musician. He would have been a violinist. He would have been a piano player. He would have been a genius with music, and people would have talked about him. He would have been on all of these albums. He had the capacity for this extreme genius, especially when it came to music, to be able, he couldn't carry a tune if his life depended on it. But as far as being a musician, as far as the pure intelligence that it takes to be that type of musician, and I mean like an orchestra musician, he could have led an orchestra if he wanted to, but I think the challenge is lying within the instrument. He would have done that. So Tex Watson's mind, very, very odd place to be. I don't want to stay there. One last question. Does he regret? Does Tex Watson actually regret any of the murders? Any of them. Can be one. Can be all. Does he regret any of them? Does he regret? So justice was served. He believes justice was served, but he doesn't necessarily believe that the crime did not fit the punishment, is what I'm hearing. This is the oddest way to look at this. Justice was served in his mind, but he doesn't believe that the crime fit the punishment. He doesn't believe he should be behind bars right now, even though he believes in the justice system. Actually, he thinks the justice system is a joke. It is. That doesn't tell me anything about regret. Is there remorse? Is there remorse? I think it haunts him. I don't think there's remorse. So 4 of the deaths are like he has remorse over. Haunting. Sorry. Haunting. Haunts him. No remorse. Haunts him. No remorse. That's the way I'm hearing it. So if you wonder if Tex Watson should be a free person right now, no. Not at all. Alright, I'm getting onto Tex Watson's head. I don't want to be there any longer. He's dangerous. He's a bad person. And he's freaking Satan himself. So, one of the Satans. There's many, many people out there who masquerade as Satan. He's one of many. Okay. Everybody, please go sage, cleanse your palate, run around the block, whatever you need to do to clear your mind and your energy away from the source that is this disgusting person. Okay? He is vile and disgusting, and he's a murderer, and he doesn't give a shit about anybody. He still is alive. He still has people that he's never confessed to killing. And he still uses people as he did when he was out. So that is my energetic reading on Tex Watson. Please leave your comments down below, especially about, do you think he should be paroled, or do you think he should be allowed to rot in jail until he dies? Let me know down in the comments. Okay, everybody, remember every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.